It's fixed.
I think it is.
That's me knocking on wood. I don't say that because I'm going to download it. It's still going to be a 2-minute difference.
Yes. That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Hello, I'm Bridget. We realized we haven't been introducing ourselves, and it's the 5th episode, and I think we've only introduced ourselves in episode 1.
But it us, ya girls.
It us, ya girls. I'm the newbie weeb. I haven't even hit a year mark of being a weeb. Lauren, how many years are you at?
Dear Lord. When did I start watching
How old
anime?
are you?
I think I started really appreciating anime when I was 10. So it's been 18 years of weebitude.
We need a good coin for that. Weebitude?
Right? My weeb is an adult.
I think do I start in November, December? When did we start last year? It hasn't popped up in my time hop yet of watching.
I don't remember. It wasn't cold. So it had to have been after, right? Because it was after the Great Freeze.
No, it was before, because we started...
Was it really?
No, we started in the fall. Because
Then it had to
the
have been
first few
November.
episodes, I think I watched at Paris' house, and we had you on with Zoom. It'll pop up in my time hop, because I'll have pictures of her doggies. I don't think I ever leave her house without taking pictures of the puppies.
I respect that.
You can't help it.
Oh,
but yeah, so I almost got my 1-year weeb chip.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks. And I'm still just really obsessed with my hero.
That's okay. I am too.
I finally watched the World Heroes Mission trailer today, and All Might says maybe 2 words in it, and I paused it and kept replaying it, and I was like, oh, my boo, I love you.
Oh my god.
Something about that voice.
I had a fight with someone today about Toshi, because they were like, oh, he's a pointless character now, and I'm like, no. He was the catalyst to everything. Calm down. I know. I had a really big
reason All for One is doing this is like in spite of him and that power. That's me throwing down the gauntlet. No.
I liked it.
No.
It's okay. I won the fight.
You like my shirt? Shout out to Super Yaki. It's Catherine Hahn all along.
You have to sing it.
It was Catherine Hahn all along. And she killed Sparky, too. Yeah, she's getting her own spin-off show. I'm very excited about that. Agatha Harkness.
That'll be cool, I think, maybe.
I mean, if she's anything like how she was in WandaVision, she's going to be great.
I'm slowly falling out of love with Marvel. And it's a big sad, because I spent so long being in love with Marvel, and then, I don't know, it's all just the same to me now.
Did you watch Shang-Chi?
I did. It was good. It was a good movie. I'm not saying that anything they're doing right now is bad. My passion for Marvel is dried up. I'm excited for Spider-Man, and that's kind of it.
Eternals? I don't know anything about Eternals, so I'm excited for that.
I like Rob Stark, so I'm pretty excited to see him.
I'm excited for Kumail Nanjiani to play his, meta character where he's got, a documentary crew following him. I don't know how that's going to tie in, but
and I will always
super excited.
Always be in love with Angelina Jolie ever since Lara Croft Tomb Raider, so I'm pretty excited about that, too.
Yep. Look, I even got some Tomb Raider inspired little hair pieces going today.
Oh, do you? Oh yeah. Yeah, I see them.
Very, very pivotal part of our generation growing up watching Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft.
So true. I learned how to French braid after watching that movie.
That's great. I remember always loving ponytails and braids after that.
Mm-hmm.
Or ribbed tank tops.
You know, I don't think I've ever just worn a tank top to wear a tank top. I think
I had a phase in high school for sure of ribbed tank tops.
you were allowed to wear tank tops in high school. We weren't.
Oh no, like for like band trips and stuff,
okay.
and like going and hanging out. Like I no shoulders,
Yeah.
shoulders will make you stumble.
They're distracting and sexy. I mean, they are, but that's not a problem. Just saying.
I mean, if I'm trying to understand pre-calculus, I really don't care about whose shoulders are out. I'm just trying to survive.
That's true.
And I did not survive that class. Spoiler alert.
Dude, I didn't either. I almost failed high school.
Shout out to
because
Miss
of
Gilson.
That. It was bad.
Me too. I took swear jar. I took pre-cal 1, and I like the first semester and had to switch into regular.
Me
and
too.
Shout out to Miss Gilson. She is the only reason I survived that first semester of pre-cal, and she got me my C for that semester, and then I dropped that class.
I actually failed my first semester of pre-cal, and then I had to drop into normal pre-cal and take the second semester while I was retaking the first semester in the mornings.
You told me this one time, and I was like, how does that
work?
And
I had to teach it to myself, because it was on, like, a computer. Like, I went to the computer lab in the morning and had to teach myself. And what I did was I just put on Stephen Sondheim and let his creepy math music inspire me to be mathed. And then I had a really great... He wasn't my math teacher, but he was a great math teacher. His name is Kevin Corpy. Shout out to Mr. Corpy at New Braunfels High School.
Corpy.
He was very kind and always willing to help the sad child, who was me. I was the sad child.
I have really intense deja vu. Did we talk about this last week?
I don't know.
Or did we talk about this recently?
I don't know.
We talked about this on the phone?
Maybe.
Oh, we talked about it at Addie's birthday party because Colin was there. That's what we were doing. I was like, because I know Mr. Corpy's name, but why do I know his name?
Like, have you met Mr. Corpy?
That makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
No. No, I haven't. That's funny. I was like, why do I know this information?
You know what the weirdest
about
thing
you?
is? After you graduate high school, whenever you're an adult, and all of your old teachers are like, oh no, you can call me by my first name. And you're just like, what?
No, you can't.
No, you're Mr. Corpy.
No, I can't.
You're Mr. Wade. I can't call you Dale. Like, it just, it doesn't work that way.
I love the teachers that, like, didn't make you call them, like, Mr. somebody. You just called them their last name. Like, I had Gardner. I had Ragsdale. And it was just like, I can't call you Mr. Ragsdale. You're just, hey, Ragsdale or Coach Ragsdale. Gardner was my English teacher and favorite teacher, and it was just Yo Gardner or Yo G. He answered all those, but if you said Mr. Gardner, it was weirdly formal.
I never had one of those. I did. My theater teacher, we all just called Skinny because her name was Jenny, and we called her Skinny Jenny. I don't remember why, but we all just called her Skinny.
I feel like that's a cliche theater thing, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's the closest I got to something like that. And then I had an English teacher who was wonderful. Her name was Miss Jarzowski, and we all called her Miss J because her name was a lot. And we loved her. And then I had Coach Fisher, who was my favorite English teacher of all time. I gotta talk about Coach Fisher because I love her so much. Everybody buckle in. She's the best person ever.
Buckle in. Ready.
We did this essay when I was young called, I think she was my sophomore English teacher, and it was called a chutney essay, and we read this thing, and it was like a whole thing. I turned it in late because I was struggling with life as a 16-year-old girl. And
as most 16-year-old girls are.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I turned it in like 2 days late, so I was like, okay, the highest grade I'm going to get on this is a 70, so whatever. She gave it back to me with top marks. She even gave me extra credit, and on the bottom of it, she said, you're going to write a book one day, and I'm going to read it. And she is the reason I have been writing for pretty much forever. So, Coach Fisher, when I write a book, it will be dedicated to you. You won't ever hear this, but I will find you and I will send it to you. It's going to happen. She retired.
That's so sweet.
But we called her Coach. I don't think I ever called her Coach Fisher. We just called her Coach. She's lovely. Are you crying?
No, I'm not. My eyes are still watering. It's from the Ted Lasso season finale today. That's why they're still watering. It was a journey, and then I got really mad, and so as I am with all emotions, whether I'm happy, sad, or mad. I cry.
Yeah.
So,
I
what
feel
a
that.
fun life that is. Oh, I'm happy? I'm crying. Oh, I'm sad? I'm crying. Oh, I'm mad? Still crying. Oh, I laughed so hard? Crying.
It's gotten to the point in life where I have to, like, tell people why I'm crying. Do you do that? You're like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm not sad at you. I'm very angry.
I hate that because I'm, like, choked up. I can hardly talk, and I'm like, and this is really stupid that I'm crying because I'm really, really mad, but I can't stop. I had a boss tell me to clench your butt cheeks, and that helps.
Does it?
Not. No.
I
cannot, like, I'm trying to hold my face together and my life together. The last thing I can do is hold my butt together.
I don't think I can make a normal face when I'm clenching my butt cheeks. Like, my brow furls.
I'm doing it right now. Can you tell?
Wait. No.
Good, because I'm going on and off. I need to stop. I'm gonna, like...
I can't. My eyebrows move when I do it.
So if you ever see Lauren over there doing this, know that she's clenching her butt cheeks.
It's just my butt, y'all. I'm sorry.
That's the title of the podcast.
Just my butt, y'all.
My butt, y'all. Sorry.
Is that this
Sorry
episode?
about it.
Dear Lord.
It's just my butt, y'all.
It's just my butt, y'all.
It's just my bowl. This what reminds me of.
Sip break.
That was a drink break there.
It needed to happen.
Mine and my 50th anniversary Disney World Starbucks tumbler
that
people fight for, but Ryan and Michael got this for me.
How was the rest of their magical adventure? Did it turn out to be magical, or was it just a big, big disappointment?
No, I think they had a good time.
There's
definitely some things happening at the parks in general that most Disney fans are not approving of. Like, if you want to stay at that Star Wars hotel that's going to be opening up in 2022, and you only have 2 people, and you want to stay just for 2 nights, I hope you have $5,000.
Ew.
5,000.
No.
Like, I really want to stay there, but I will never have the chance to stay there because it's $5,000 for 2 nights for 2 people.
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
There's this issue right now happening at Disney, and this happens every once in a while, that Disney likes to look at data. Most businesses like to look at data. It is good as a business strategy to look at data. Now, Disney Parks and Disney for movies set itself apart from that in the past because they have things like Imagineers and this dream that Walt created. I understand Walt can be also problematic, but this dream that he built this on is that we don't just focus on the money and we don't just focus on the data. You focus on the experience, the magic, and like you're setting yourself apart from other parks. Now, the last time Disney wanted to do this with the parks and focused more on the data-driven business side, and which is what all other companies do, Imagineers were getting cut left and right, and they went to Universal and they created Harry Potter World, which was a feat of its own and is what Universal sets apart, and like the Jurassic Park rides, and it's amazing, which is also kind of why the dinosaur ride and Jurassic Park ride look awfully similar, but the Jurassic Park ride is superior, that log ride. Well, before, I don't know what the new version of it looks like, but before, the original one was vastly superior to Dinosaur at Disney. I cry on both, but vastly superior. And so it's happening again. And even when Iger is saying, like, hey, make sure you focus on the creativity and not only on data-driven business, but Chapek is like, no, let's do that because I want to make money. Let's be successful. I mean, we have Imagineers dropping out. Like, I think his name is James Rhodey, is like the #1 Imagineer. He like made Animal Kingdom, and he worked with the whole Avatar team to make Pandora, and he made Everest and made it super like incorporated. It looks like you're in the not the Andes, in Nepal. It's because he went there. They went and visited these places. They studied it. They did research. It's all about the magic and the experience, not necessarily the numbers, because people thought they were crazy for doing Avatar Animal Kingdom, and now it's one of the most beautiful things in the world. Like, going there even at night, not even riding on a ride, is an experience you have to have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my soapbox of, there's some changes happening right now, and we've done this in the past, and it didn't work out great, and, you know, ebb and flow, I guess, but the way Disney sets its parks aside is not being that money-hungry thing where you no longer have fast passes, now you have lightning passes, you have to pay for it, and if you want a really popular ride, you have to pay extra for it. We're getting rid of virtual queues. And so, watch my new spin-off podcast of What is Disney doing wrong, and you should help me. I will fix the parks. Hire me.
Okay.
I was talking to Michael about this today. It was very heated about it. It was like, we just did this in the 90s. We just learned this lesson in the 90s. And now we're doing it again?
Well,
anyway.
I'm glad they had an okay time.
Yeah, what was the question again?
I asked if they had a good time.
They had a good time. They had a good time. Okay. It was magical, okay? They got what they wanted.
Great. I'm so happy. It sounds like a blast.
They got some new experiences. They went to Trader Sam's. They hadn't gone there before.
Oh, cool. I don't know what that is, but cool.
It's a restaurant. It's interactive. It's very fun.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know anything about Disney parks. I went there once when I was 20 with my dad. I did cry. It was very cool. It was cold.
I've been there when it's hot, been there when it's cold. It's Florida. Who knows what weather you're going to get.
Yeah. But it was fun. I had a good time. That's all I got to say about it, though. I had a good time.
You need to go, even if you don't really care for Star Wars that much, like, going to Galaxy's Edge is one of the coolest things you can do. I mean, it's like Rise of the Resistance is the coolest ride that has ever been invented. That was me burping while talking.
Like,
it was really
are you
cute.
Crying again?
Yeah, I know. It sounded like I was crying.
This is really good.
But that was straight up me burping while talking. But it is that good.
Yeah.
It is that good.
See, I don't know if I have, like, a place like that. Like, an interactive place that would just mess me up. Ooh, I almost let that one slip. I'm catching myself.
Mess me up. Look at you.
Catching myself. I don't think I have one of those. It used to be Harry Potter. Like, I wanted to go there so badly. I'm not really into it anymore.
Yeah, isn't that sad how that franchise got so messed up for us?
Yeah. It just literally everything that has happened in the last 5 years for Harry Potter has been awful.
Tainted it.
Has been awful.
I mean, we got these spin-off books. We're so excited, and then it was like, this isn't even good fanfic.
Well, it's because I wrote that fanfiction. I wrote that fanfiction when I was 15.
In middle school, yeah, like...
And, like...
It's not good. And then it made it to Broadway, and I was like... This story got made to Broadway? Like, there's so many other things I wanted to explore. Like, why aren't we getting, like, a Marauders, like, pre-story thing? Like, that's what all of the fandom wants, is more details of the Marauders' adventures.
So, my grand idea in my Harry Potter fanfiction spinoff, here we go, is that it becomes like a revolution. Like, the young wizards want to come out and blend their worlds with the Muggle world. And part of that is Teddy Tonks. And the whole thing would be focused on Albus and him going through school and Teddy being, like, the leader of this new bad rebellion, and then him having to go against his brother, and it would be really cool. Sorry, I cursed. I don't care. It would be really dope. And everyone should read my story. I am the new J.K. Rowling, and I love trans people, so that makes me instantly better. Thanks.
Instantly leveled up like 20 tiers.
And that's my soapbox. So there you go.
It's a good soapbox. I like it. That's a good box. I'll let you keep that box.
Thank you. I worked really hard on this box. I have exactly one chapter of it written on my archive account, so there you go.
Google it, fans. Google that.
Don't.
Let's get that going.
I don't need anyone on this to read my fan fiction ever, so thank you.
Watch out when you find Lauren's Twitter.
Well, you tagged me in bunches of stuff, so I'm sure someone will find it.
Hey! I do tag you in a lot.
Yeah,
It's mainly
okay.
also like, look at this cool My Hero thing.
Which I love, so that's fine. Just,
It's always
you've been warned about what you're
it's
gonna
always the
find
latest chapter we've read, and then someone colorizes it, and I'm like, this looks so
there. I'm
good.
so excited about Star and Stripe. I instantly love her. You know, the people who, like...
A lot of questions about it, though.
The people who instantly loved Mirko, cool, I get it. That's how I feel about Star and Stripe. I'm just instantly like, yeah, you're it.
I think I have an issue with her because
Why?
and it's not anything to the fault of the manga. It's just how my brain wired it. She reminded me of what's his name in The Boys, like the suit design.
Yeah.
And so I was automatically like, and then I was like, I think this is only because of The Boys. I think I need to break this connection in my head because he's horrible.
Yeah.
That's trash.
What's his name?
But I can't think of it right
now. Oh, no. I'm upset.
I can't think of it. But that's what she reminded me of. But I was like, oh, nope. That's just The Boys. It's not related. I need to break that. But I am more like, why did she say my master?
Because All Might trained her.
Did he win?
Whenever he was in America.
It's not in any of the spin-offs.
He was in America for a long time before he came back to Japan.
I know, but we didn't see that. We don't know that. And so now I like, I need the next chapter now.
I guarantee it that she was just one of his sidekicks in America. Don't look too far into it, man. I guarantee it.
I was already like, love child.
She's not a love child. And if she wouldn't have said master, she would have said dad.
I don't know. I don't know.
She's not a love child unless she's Toshi and David Shields' love child, because that's plausible.
Until I get clarification, it's possible.
I disagree, but I'm excited to watch you be disappointed about that on Sunday.
The opposite of the Brandy song, it's possible, not impossible. It's possible. Anyway, so we should
start?
Maybe talk Fullmetal Alchemist.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. So this week we watched episodes 13, 14, 15, and 16.
Huzzah. This was a good little mix of episodes. I'm actually...
Yeah, 13 and 14 were like a part 1 and part 2 of the episode.
They're actually the end of season 1, technically. Technically.
Yeah, because in episode 15, we get a new intro.
Which I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't like it as much right now.
It's not as good.
Maybe it'll grow on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
It's not as much of a jam.
No. Again, it's just so good. Like, it's such a vibe. It's such a vibe. I do like the visuals of the opening. I think they did a great job animating it. But the song is just not what I wanted.
The visuals for the opening have a lot. I mean, we'll get there. We're not there yet. But, I mean, it had a lot in it that I was like, who's this? Who's this?
Right.
What's that?
Anyway.
But, I think right now the song hasn't grown on me. I still like
me either.
Our song that we have right now for episode 13. So this is Beasts of Dublith?
Yes.
Dublith?
And the Netflix summary is... When Al is abducted by chimeras and Ed's rescue attempt falls short, Izumi proves once more that she's got the brother's best interest in mind. Which she doesn't do a whole lot, so I think that's a little misleading.
But she's still really cool, though, in this episode. I like her. But, yeah, she doesn't do too much because then we just, like... After 13 happens, we just, like, really focus on 14, and your mind just spins. Yeah. And you're like, what is happening? Okay, so, here we go. It ends... Where did we end last time? So...
Did we end last time? Last time, we ended with
not the right
Greed's chimera henchman taking Al away... and Ed's arm breaking down while they're fighting. Right? I feel like that's where we ended. No? Am I crazy? Or is that the end of this episode?
the end of the last episode we watched. That is the end of this episode.
Oops.
The end of the last episode we watched was we find out teacher also committed the taboo. They tried to save their baby, and so this starts with her realizing that they have seen the truth and managed to survive, and she expels
I gasped
from being
so
her
hard when that happened. I was like, what? Why would you do that? They're your boys. Like, I threw a fit.
I love that because then immediately, without missing a beat, she goes, now that you're not my students, you can now speak to me. Or no, Sig says this. Now you're not her students, you can speak to her as an equal. Why are y'all trying to leave? And then the last thing he yells when they're like, oh, you're right. We should go talk to her still. We're equals now. He just was like, don't let her kill you. Love them.
It's weird because I switched to the dub. And it does not translate that way, or into the sub, in the subtitles. Like, it's much sweeter. He's just like, yeah, be careful.
Oh.
Be nice to her.
I love that. Don't let her kill you, because it's straight up like, she is going to kill him. So teacher thinks Al saw the truth because he gave his whole body, and they saw the truth, and they only gave part of their body. But they think Al maybe just lost his memory. And then my next note is, there's a creepy lizard thing. Because we cut to Ed, like, in the, what's it called? No, Al's the one out there. Hold on. We cut scenes. We see a creepy lizard thing watching them. And then we cut to Scar, who is working to get his strength back. And his master is alive and talks to him, which was a big deal. So there are other people from his village that are alive. He says his revenge will only bring more violence. So his master is trying to tell him, like, you need to let this thing go. You need to let this thing go. And then I said those two guys that, like, come to hunt him down look like WWE wrestlers. They don't look like they fit in this. They don't look like they fit in this anime at all. They look straight up like Stone Cold Steve Austin and his friend walked up on them and was like, yo, bro, we're here to take you away. I was like, they don't fit this character design very well.
It was good though.
It was good. I liked them, but I was just like, I feel like there must have been like some joke with the animators or something about like wrestling, because they are drawn really specifically to look like a WWE wrestler.
But the characters do grow on you. They grew on me anyway.
Yeah. Your brother would be sad, and it's too late to turn back now. So we know Scar had a brother, and Scar's brother is dead. And so his tattoos also came from his brother who studied alchemy. And we know Scar's only maybe knows part of alchemy, because we only can see him do the deconstruction, never to the reconstruction. So more Scar storyline unfolding. We haven't gotten a lot. We don't get too much more, I think, in our next 4 episodes.
A very small hint, I think, at the beginning of episode 15.
Oh, that's right.
Very small.
Yeah, and then, but it's not too much more backstory.
Yeah.
But we see a little softer side of him. And then we go back to Lizard Person. I made a note.
Lizard Person.
Lizard Person throws Al a note, and they were like asking him. I don't remember what the line was. I only wrote like the response. They're trying to tell Al to like have somebody else think it over for you, and Al like punches someone and is like, I thought it over for myself. It's just like comeback line, and I was like, I love sassy Al, who now knows he's not mind controlled or anything, and maybe knows the truth, and he's just like, nah, I thought it over for myself. And then here's my next note. Ew, she's inside Al? One of these girls that are like have mugged Al in this alleyway, which is a hard thing to do. He has a giant walking suit of armor. They are trying to take him down. She gets inside of him, which Lauren and I just talked about last time on our podcast of like, what happens if you're inside Al? Well, I mean, we got to find out. I'm not gonna say it's like a surprise. This is the old anime, but it was a surprise to us. And it was just as creepy for him, I think, as it was for us. Like, ugh. Like, it's like his inner monologues, like, talking, and I'm sure it's like a rumbly tummy. I don't know. Didn't we find out all those people that just mugged him are Chimera who work for none other than Greed?
And
we meet
I would
another
just
one.
like to brag about myself for a moment, because I was right. The 7 deadly sins are not real people. They are created humans. And I feel really good about that.
You were right. Yeah, so we're going to start finding out about them in the next few episodes, because Greed is, as we find out, is just like a motor mouth, and we learn a lot about them.
I think he says in this episode he's a homunculus.
Homunculus, yep, they are homunculus.
Is the
homunculi.
plural? I was going to ask if it's homunculi or
was like,
homunculuses.
I think it should be homunculi,
but I feel like it's homunculuses.
I'm going to say homunculi.
I would.
And you could say homunculuses.
Cute. Homunculus.
Until we know what the correct grammatical term is for multiple homunculus.
Someone please tell us. We don't know things. Thank you.
Our email is gatewayanimePodcast@gmail.com. Oh! I forgot to say this. We got fan mail.
Fan mail! Sorry, we need a song.
I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
What's the song from Blue's Clues? Makes me wanna wag my tail when I come I'm gonna look that up so we can talk about fan mail eventually.
Okay.
Is it from Michelle or is it a different fan mail?
It's from Michelle!
Yeah!
Our number 1 fan right now.
Way to be a homie, Michelle. Everyone else who's supposed to be our homie, step up.
Step up.
The streets.
I find it. Like, I haven't organized our Gmail
because
very well
I made
yet.
a fan mail folder and I moved it to that.
Oh! Okay, I was like, where did it go? Lauren, we have signatures. You don't have to write your name. You just hit ... or you just add signature.
Why would I do that? I made
a signatures, and it has a pretty picture. So anyway, Michelle wrote, "Hiya, Bridget and Lauren. It's me, your self-proclaimed number 1 fan." Well, now it's not self-proclaimed. We proclaimed it too. I just want to let you guys know I love you both. You're doing a great job. Michelle, we love you, and you're doing a great job. You're both in for a wild ride with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. We are quickly learning that.
So much crap is happening.
And everybody keeps telling us, just keep waiting. And I'm like, what does that mean? I also realized I don't have my number, so I gotta stop. So I can't text my love reactions to your episode as I'm listening. I can't wait for the next episode. Michelle, we love you.
Yes, we do.
I forgot to do that in the beginning, but that reminded me, we have fan mail. Our first fan mail.
That makes us a real podcast, so thank you.
We did it.
Check. High fives.
That's the next thing on our checklist. Real podcast. Check.
Done. What's our... We need that. Nope, not going to do it yet. We'll talk about it at the outro.
I was just going... I was going to do a Liz Lemon high five and a million angels.
I love 30 Rock.
Okay. Me too. So...
All right. Homunculuses and homunculi. If you know the proper terminology, please send us an email. We would like to
also
know.
Send us fan mail.
Or tweet us.
Yeah, at Gateway Anime Pod. There you go. Okay, so then we learn all of the people with greed are chimera. That somebody has successfully created chimera. They are like blended with... My favorite was cow and human. There's cow.
Oh, I liked dog.
Dog, snake, lizard, and cow. I think are the 4 we meet. I was like, cow. And then at the end, it was like, oh my gosh, cow.
I know.
Whoa.
I loved cow.
Dog was like, they kept like, ripping on dog, man. And it was really funny though.
They did.
Snake, I didn't really notice too much, but Snake was there. Lizard got the short end of the stick because Lizard got a tail. Lizard got a tail, and Lizard will never blend in. All the rest kind of could blend in. So then Greed says that the military has created them. That's a big deal. And a homunculus, the definition that Greed gives us, or I think Al might give us, is artificially created human, a person made from alchemy, which they think is nearly impossible. They've never met anybody that's been able to do this until now. Bam, bam, bam.
We also learn fun thing that the sign, the little tattoo thing that they have is called like an Orbosa
Bora.
sign? Bora, thank you. And it's a thing. Hold on, I wrote it down. Okay. I do have it.
I don't think we're there yet, though.
It doesn't matter.
We don't.
It's not like a big.
We don't get there till the next
it's
episode.
It's just what it is.
No, but we don't get there till the next episode.
So
okay. I thought we were just talking to episode 13, but okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I won't read it. Go ahead.
Just wait till episode 14, because then they start talking about the Ouroboros and why it's important, because we learn somebody else has it.
Oh.
Well, okay.
I'll wait.
So, Greed starts to tell Al that he's craving eternal life, but we find out he's nearly 200 years old currently, and that he's kind of like cut off from the rest of his like brothers, sisters kind of thing. Are your neighbors being crazy?
They're singing really loudly.
They're having a wild night right now. Lauren's got some neighbors that are loud.
They're so loud. I apologize.
I can't hear them
screaming at each other today, though. Okay, good.
You're good. I mean, I think I heard that one.
So loud.
I'm just concerned someone's gonna like bust through your wall.
Nah. It'll be okay. If they do that, my whole house is gonna collapse anyway, so...
you do live in an older house. It's really pretty, though.
I do.
You have great street parking, too.
I do have good street parking. That's pretty much the only good thing about where I live. That's fine, though.
Well, anyway. Great street parking. That's hard in San Antonio.
It is.
So... where do we go? We get
Greed
to, like,
is not in contact with his peeps.
Yeah, he's not in contact. He's been, like, expelled from the rest. And then we learn that Greed has, like, the ultimate shield. And it's really creepy looking, and he, like, coats his body in something. Well, here comes Ed busting in because he realizes Al's missing and something's not right if a giant, tall suit of armor is missing when he was supposed to be sweeping the streets. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Ed's arm gets all jacked up.
Can I just say that I think it's super cute that Ed still finds the time to compliment whenever he's getting his butt kicked. He's just like, that's my mechanic for you. And I'm like, yeah, it is, Ed. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. That's my ship. That's my ship. What did I write here? No fun. Oh, so then Izumi busts in after. Oh, no. So they realize his body is human, but he's like coated in carbon. The shield is coated in carbon. And so Ed starts to figure that out. And so now he's using alchemy to deconstruct. And then Izumi walks in, also has figured that out, is ready to kick butt for her boys because she realizes they're missing and she knows something's up because trouble finds them wherever they go. And Greed's like, it's no fun fighting a woman. And then Izumi just like puts him in his place. She starts deconstructing and then just pounding him because she realizes he can't regenerate his shield and like heal at the same time. Mm-hmm. So she's just going, as soon as she deconstructs, she hits, and it's great.
She's the dopest.
My favorite line, you asked what I am? A housewife. I love her. It's her favorite line.
She's excellent. Say what?
She's amazing. I love her. I said she's amazing. All right. Then we get to episode 14.
Wait, I have voice actors to go over. I started a whole new thing.
Voice actors.
So I actually switched to the Japanese cast during this run because I've decided I'm going to learn Japanese, and it'll just be more fun this way if we're watching it on two different everythings. So here we are.
Yeah.
Cool thing about Japanese voice actors is they're pretty much in everything. So all of these actors have really good credits, and I apologize in advance because all of their names, I'm gonna murder them, and I'm sorry. I tried really hard.
You're gonna get there. You're gonna learn. You're gonna get there.
So the first voice I have in this episode is for Miss Izumi Curtis, and it's Shoko Tsuda. Okay, and she actually plays Lady Impa in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, it's just like your favorite game.
It is. So I was like I was about it. Sig. This surprised me because it's so opposite of his character, but he's played by Seiji Sakaki.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sakaki. And he plays Raccoon in Dragon Ball Z, who's the most obnoxious character in the entire universe. Then I've got your boy, Roy Mustang.
Roy Mustang! That's my man.
And he's great. He has so much crap that I just love so much.
I like that that's your credit. He's
great.
Great.
His voice actor's name is Shinichiro Miki. And he actually is the voice of James in Pokemon, which is wonderful.
Who's James?
James? Bridget!
Hold on.
To protect the world from devastation.
Oh, Jesse James.
All people. Yes.
Got it. I got it. Team Rocket blasting off again. Got it.
My
I was
whole heart just clenched.
It's been a hot minute. But I got you. I was a Pokemon watcher. I just need a refresher.
I'm cooling down now. That got me.
I was
he also played Daddy Tanjiro, Daddy Kamado in Demon Slayer. He's in My Hero Academia. Guess who he is?
Your boy.
No.
No, I don't know.
He's an adult. He's a hero.
Hawks.
No.
Who?
He's Sir Night-Eye. He also plays Alucard in Castlevania, and Gyro Zeppeli in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven. So that's super cool.
Okay.
Scar, you're gonna love this. Scar, his voice actor is Kinida Maikaki, one of those. And he's also in My Hero Academia, and you have to guess who this is.
Is he Endeavor?
No. He's better than Endeavor.
Is he All Might?
He's Toshinori Yagi. He's also Shadow from Skate Infinity, which is a ridiculously great gay show. Everyone should watch it. It's like 8 episodes. And he is Mohammed Adval in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders, and I am in the middle of watching that right now, and Adval just... I'm upset.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what's really cool is both of the boys, the Elric brothers, are actually voiced by women in the Japanese dub, or the Japanese everything. Ed is voiced by Romy Park, and she was Tao Rin in Shaman King, which was like my favorite anime when I was a kid, so that was really cool. And she's also Hanji Zo in Attack on Titan. And Tamari.
I love Hanji.
I know! And she's Tamari in Naruto. And then Al is voiced by Rei Kayugumi, and she plays Happy the Cat in Fairy Tail. She plays Momo in Jujutsu Kaisen. She's the little witch girl. You don't know her yet, but anyone who's watched Jujutsu Kaisen will know. And this was really good for me because my favorite anime of all time is Toradora. It makes me so happy. Like, it's literally sitting here on my desk right now. Like, I love Toradora. And she plays Taiga Aisaka in Toradora. Blessed be the fruit. And hold on, I got one more down here because I forgot. Greed, his voice actor is Yakuchi Nakamaru, and he plays Satoru Gojo in Jujutsu Kaisen, and he's actually Hawks in My Hero Academia, so he was in here. He's also
my favorite Hawks quote right now. Endeavor, you thinking about me?
Endeavor's always thinking about you, Hawks. That's the secret.
It's like his only line in one of the last episodes so far of this season, and he's just walking down the hallway. Endeavor, in that Hawks voice. And I was like, what? Ryan and I were talking about that last night, laughing so hard at that line.
He's such a hoe for Endeavor, and I'm so down for it.
Endeavor, you thinking about me?
He also plays Kojiro Shinomiya from Food Wars.
Okay.
He's my favorite character in Food Wars, and I can't even pronounce his name, so here we are. But best of all, he is Bruno Buricelli in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. And
There we go.
he's a vibe. He's everything. Fun fact.
He's a vibe.
Fun fact about this episode is that it covers the chapters 25 through 29 in the original manga run. And the episode originally didn't air with a title card, and we don't know why. It just didn't have one. So,
interesting.
Those are my fun facts. We may now move on. I hope y'all like voice actors.
I liked those.
Yeah? Yay!
I liked that. I like seeing like where they all, because that's what I love about voice actors is like they can play completely different characters and sound so different. Like with what's his name Armstrong right now, who does the American voice of All Might, sounds very different.
He's so
and
soft.
It's hard for me to hear it. There's like every once in a while I'll hear something like said a certain way, and I'm like, oh, there it was. But I props to these voice actors. They're really awesome. So I love that you do that. I love that.
That makes me I love voice actors so much. And I think it'll be really fun as we start to watch so many other things to see who reoccurs. And I'm really excited.
Yeah. I hope one day maybe we can like have a voice actor on and like interview them or something. That'll be like really cool. Just putting it out there to manifest.
Shut up, that's my dream.
Funimation, are you listening to us? Because we'd really like to have one of the voice actors. Hey, y'all all like live in Dallas. At least the English dub artists do. So if you could like hit us up or something, that'd be really cool.
If you're nice to me, I'll think about going over your credits too. Okay, thanks. Bye.
if you're nice to me, it's fine. I'm just gonna be nice to you anyway, even if you're not nice to me. But maybe I'll make you cookies.
I want cookies. Can I have some?
Can I have cookies? Can I have,
please?
I just mailed my brother some pumpkin chocolate chip cookies I made this weekend, and they're so good. I was like, oh no, that's gonna ruin his surprise? This comes out next week, so we're good.
It'll be fun.
I was like, oh no. All right, so now we're in episode 14, which is like a part 2 to episode 13. It is called Those Who Lurk Underground.
The Netflix summary is, in a clash with greed, King Bradley proves to be a brutal opponent, but the man who destroys the ultimate shield is more potent than even the Führer.
Dun, dun, dun. So I had a friend who listens to this. Shout out to Sam Jackson. I love you. We've been friends since like
my whole body
school.
Just wanted to say, I'm sorry, Sam Jackson. Who?
Oh, I'm sure he's heard that before, and I'm sure he's really annoyed that you just
stop.
Did that. But apparently King Bradley, like his name is King Bradley. Like that's his name.
His first name is
King Bradley. That's what Sam told me. So I don't know if that's right or not. But he told me that, and I was laughing so hard because I thought it was really weird that he was like Führer King Bradley. I was like, it's kind of redundant, don't we think? That's his name.
Hate
King
that.
Bradley.
More than anything. Why?
Führer King Bradley. King, kind of the title, but
they're just
that's
like,
my name.
Oh, he needs to be really, really important, though. Yeah, he's the Führer. No, his
they
name
just
is
really
King.
wanted to manifest his power.
Gosh, I hate that.
I thought it was really funny. Okay, so now that you know that, well, the Führer King Bradley is in the South. So he said it's just for a routine inspection. But he's going where Ed is, like, towards the Devil's Nest.
And he brought, like, 800 swords.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, an army. Like, it's
swords.
really weird. And so someone says it smells like old times. No. I think Greed says it smells like old times. And then the camera pans to King Bradley. And I was like, that was really direct camera work right there. So I feel like that's a hint. We get this revealed later. And then he's worked with Chimera and the Homunculus before. So the Führer, I can't let you do that. It's like he's not letting people live. We just see Führer King Bradley just go to town and there are no survivors. He's just, when you think it's a routine inspection and you want to get, more information, you leave people alive so you can extract that info. No. it gets real sketchy real fast, and you get real terrified of him because he's just cutting everyone down.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell in love with the Fuhrer in this episode.
My next bullet point is, why is King Bradley hot? He's 60.
Right? I'm like, but he's not. He's probably like 200 actually.
But,
and like
I'm so glad you said that, because that was literally my next bullet. Why is King Bradley hot?
I felt so shameful, and I was just like, this man is obviously super evil, but as soon as he became this evil, horrible man, and like it was out there, I was like, yeah, I'd hit it.
All right. Now that I know for sure you're a villain, okay, because when you were on the line, it was like, but now that I know your intentions, it's fine. I know what your intentions are. But he says he's 60, and I'm like, he's not 60. Like, I mean, he might be older, but he does not look 60. And the way he's handling that sword, he is not 60. Swords, dude, sorry.
I said, what did I say? Bradley is one hell of a swordsman. Kill him. Kill him.
My next bullet point is, Fuhrer's really good with the sword. So I'm glad we're tracking here. We're tracking.
Yeah. I'm glad we have the same vibe going on.
Is your next bullet point Armstrong with 2 hearts?
Yes! Oh my god! It's seriously like, aw, Armstrong.
Mine's Armstrong with Hilarious. 2 hearts, statuary technique. I love him.
Also, Ro, the cow dude, also fought in the war, so he's ex-military, presumably. And
we
great.
did find out that, like, the military created the Chimera, so maybe they were, like, using some of their best warriors, because Cowman, I never wrote his name down, but I was like, Cowman, knows their fighting techniques, because he's the one he's the last one that puts up a good fight. And so him. Bradley says, eliminate all the Chimera. It's like his direct order, and so everybody's like, huh. So the Cowman knows Bradley from the Civil War, and then all of a sudden his eye patch gets cut off, and his dang eyeball is the Ora Bora mark. And you're like, he dang evil. We knew, but we didn't know, but now we know. He's evil.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you what the Ouroboros mark is?
Tell me.
So it's a mystical symbol that shows a dragon devouring its own tail, and that's supposed to equal the eternal circle of life. So death in its wholeness and
so like the
infinity.
snake symbol that people talk. Okay, I think it's a flag, not a symbol. I really did well in history.
I think it is a symbol. Actually, it's a symbol when I wrote it down. So I think you're right. So the head of the dragon is obviously the beginning of life, and the tail is the end, and it's just a never-ending circle because they can't die, and that's why they have it.
In a hoop that never ends.
Have you ever?
Oh, I was going to the sycamore. Sorry, I was in the wrong verse. It's fine.
I don't know. I got excited.
So I started freaking out. I'm like, is he a Chimera? Is he not? What is King Bradley? Because we know he's wrong. My guess was still he's Wrath, but we don't have that confirmed. And then I love the quote, how many times am I going to have to kill you before you stay dead?
Oh my god. My whole heart
15.
just went...
15 times? Yeah.
It's 15 times?
Yeah.
Is that
15.
how many times you counted?
I think that's what they said was 15.
Wow.
Either they said that, I wrote 15 down, and I didn't put it in quotes, so I'm like, where did I get that from? My notes say 15. Was that my personal opinion or fact? Who knows?
One of those. And it seems pretty solid to me.
15 seems like a solid number.
Mm-hmm.
And then the worst thing happened. Like, so he's taking out all of them. Al is trying to keep Martel inside of him. That's the snake girl that crawled in him that we were freaking out about last episode.
Because Cowboy and Dogboy asked him to keep her safe because they're sweet boys. To keep her safe.
And Al's just a good person. He doesn't want to take life. Like, they believe in alchemy for making life better and defending life. And so this is horrible. The worst, but I know.
Horrible.
Bradley kills her inside of Al.
Just like straight up through the neck. Stabs this chick.
Just stabs her. And you see the bleeding and you think Al's like, I'm bleeding. It's so Al passes out. I'm not quite sure how.
It's because her blood got on his seal. her blood got on his seal.
That's right.
And I
it smeared.
lost it. I was like, oh God, he's going to die.
Her blood got on... I like that I said, I don't know how. It's my next bullet.
Oh my gosh.
Her blood got on the blood seal.
So her blood got on the blood seal, and then he, like, passes out, and he sees the flashback of his truth. But...
Yeah.
But... After, like, he goes through all the crazy stuff Ed did, he comes back in the middle of the circle, like, as their mom. So I'm like, is that the mom?
He gets a weird POV, and we don't get it explained yet. But we get a different POV from him.
But Al never says anything to Ed. And it makes me wonder if he knows something that he doesn't want to say. Which also leads me to believe that Alphonse is actually dead and he's never getting his body back. And this whole show is just going to be about Ed having to let him go, and he can't.
I thought we already went through this theory. I thought we already knocked that down and we debunked it.
No, we debunked that he was a fake person. He's not a fake person. He's a dead brother whose soul is now trapped and he needs to be released because he's just dead. And... I feel that strongly.
I don't know. I have hope that they'll get their bodies back, because if not, I cannot handle this show.
I think Ed...
I need it to end happy.
I don't think it ends happy, Bridget. That's the vibe I'm getting right now.
So, like we said, I'm cutting that talk off. Ed now remembers and sees his mom and then the truth, and then he loses his whole body. Truth, what is the truth? I can't read. Oh, the truth, something, the truth becows him? Be crows him?
Becomes him?
Yes, that's it. I've, like, scribbled because I wrote something wrong, and so I wrote over the scribble, and I'm like, I have no idea what this says. The truth becomes him, and we see his point of view, but it's from the dead mom's point of view that we talked about, which is, what is happening? They never address this again, so it's really frustrating. And then he comes to, they're like, hey, we cleaned you up because sweet baby Armstrong is the best man in the world. They clean him up because they're like, we didn't want you to see that before you came to. We wanted to make sure you were fine.
Can you imagine just waking up and having a dead person inside of you?
And if someone as sensitive as Al, oh my gosh, I cannot. And then the Fuhrer says something to them that you're like, we know he's evil, but now it's like everybody's they're starting to get some hints because the boys don't know he's evil. If you arrange to deal with him or exchange knowledge, I'll execute you right now. And he says it so cold and calm, and I'm like, ooh.
And then the dude just laughs, and he's just like, no, y'all are good kids. Bye. And we're like,
so this is where I'm still doing my theory of like, he's Wrath. He's got to be Wrath. That's why he brutally murders everyone. And you can tell that teacher senses something with Fuhrer and the eye. Like, there's like this moment that you're like, she knows something's up. So she knows something's up. And then Armstrong tells the boys, you need to keep a low profile again. This is the second time to tell them.
And he doesn't tell them that Hughes died. And I'm like, bro.
I know. And that is like,
we'll get to it. But yeah, I wish he had. They deserve to know.
A note that I made when they're going back to the city, did you notice that the city looks like a giant alchemy symbol?
Yes, I did.
All the streets and stuff look like the big circle with the prism. So I'm going to guess that might like be a big battle thing where like somebody does something and the city gets rocked. But we panned to that city and looking at the street view for like 1 second too long for me to not make a note that it kind of looks like a lot of the symbols that we see drawn. Yeah. So then I wrote, teacher and Fullmetal are working candidates for human sacrifice. They say that because we see a bunch of the 7 deadly sins meeting up together. And guess what? Fuhrer does work for the, as I call them, the Ora Bora's gang. Because I don't know what else to call them. I'm like the 7 deadly sins, but the Ora Bora gang.
The Homunculuses.
Oh, I mean, I guess you could call them their official title. But the Ora Bora gang. And then Sloth is
resting?
Powering them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's resting, but he looks like he's like an energy source for them or something. Because he's like strung up when we see him. And guess what? My theory comes true. The Fuhrer is indeed wrath.
Mm-hmm.
Once we started getting some Seven Deadly Sins, and I got those vibes, we got it. They're created by Father for the final stage of the plan. Now, we still don't know who Father is. We see him, but we don't know who he is.
He's not Daddy Elric. That's what we know.
Not Daddy Elric. Yeah,
we can,
that theory of ours got
we can
crushed.
presume that he's very old. He burnt Greed down into what looked like Philosopher's Stone juice, and then he drank it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, he's melted down, returned him to Father's soul, because they're all parts of his soul. So they're like kind of like walking alchemy, like Philosopher's Stones, kind of ish,
something like that.
It's really interesting, but and then but then at the end, I wrote that King Bradley has a whole family. Yeah. And I'm wondering,
how does he age when the others don't age? That's my big question.
Yeah, they like created him to age,
he has
but
a son.
Also, how does he do this whole family? Yeah, he has a son, he has a wife.
I don't know.
But do they know? Are they real? Are they?
He might have
Chimera?
made them
like
to look more.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Human,
like
I guess
human and less suspicious.
I don't know.
It was really interesting. So that's part 2. I mean, we don't have like a lot to talk about because it was really action heavy.
I only have 2 fun facts,
and then it had big reveals.
I have 1 voice actor for this episode. So I have Fuhrer Bradley.
Okay.
His voice actor's name is Hidekazu Shimbata.
Okay.
And he plays the 4th Hokage in Naruto. So way to go. And then I've got 2 fun facts. This is the only episode in Fullmetal that features all 7 homunculi. The only one. And
oh, really? It's the only one?
And then,
interesting. I guess because Greek gets
so
melted
like you
down.
just can't have
always
them
at 6 right now,
unless they remake them.
Yeah, we're done now.
But it's also the first episode to be rated TVMA when it was broadcast in America. So.
Interesting. The second episode with the mom didn't get rated that. I mean, this one does have a lot of blood.
I think it's because it's violent. You know, like the one with mom, it was disturbing, but it's not technically violent.
I know blood and blood color does affect ratings. So, like, a lot of rated R movies will make blood a different color because red, realistic-looking colored blood does knock your rating up.
That is a fun fact.
Fun fact.
I liked that fact. Good job, Bridget. I like that one.
Thank you. Thanks, movie industry. Thanks for me being obsessed with horror and horror effects. Thanks, Phoenix University.
No. Yes.
But yeah, so that makes sense. Because we had a lot of red blood, like, spilling out. Like, we might not have seen a lot of mutilation, but we saw a lot of blood. So that does make sense. So then that's part 1 and part 2. Those were like the biggest action points in the 4 episodes we watched this time. And then we get more backstory kind of stuff, and then we get really more emotional. So then we go to episode 15, the envoy from the east. I really debated how I was going to say that, and I was like, we're going to wing it.
Let's just say it 20 times and hope that it lands once.
Envoy. It feels like that TikTok. Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry.
Sorry.
Envoy. Envoy. Sorry. All right, Lauren, give us that Netflix summary.
The Netflix summary is...
Okay, but I was watching I Like to Watch with Trixie and Katya, and Trixie kept saying Netflix, like one flick, Netflix.
Just the one Netflix.
I was like, is she saying Netflix?
It tracks.
You're not alone.
Thanks.
Trixie did it too.
If I could be in any company in the world, Trixie Mattel is the one that I want to be with, so here we are.
Trixie and Katya, I like to watch. We like to watch. You liking to watch Netflix.
We like to watch. You like to watch. We all like to watch Trixie and Katya.
Because we watch. Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Go on.
The Netflix summary for episode 15 is the Elric's scuffle with Ling Yao and his attendants Lan Fan and Fu, visitors from Xing seeking the Philosopher's Stone.
That's a lot.
That was a mouthful, but I did it.
It is a mouthful. It's a pretty decent summary, though.
That one was pretty good.
It's just a decent.
For
this episode, that's like pretty much this episode.
I would like to say that I have a new favorite character. It is Ling Yao. I'm in love with him. Just instantly love him.
I hate him. I hate him so much.
How can you hate him?
He's so annoying.
I love him.
Who does he remind me of? He reminds me of some character in a movie, and I cannot think of it.
I adore him instantly.
He kind of reminds me of the secretary to the king in Mulan.
I know that there's something deeper to his search for the Philosopher's Stone, and
I think so too, but I'm so annoyed
just
right now.
love him so much. I'm sorry.
You know who my new favorite character is?
Is it Lan Fan?
No. Xiao Mei.
Xiao Mei?
The panda. The panda.
I should have guessed that.
Xiao Mei the panda.
I'm mad.
That bites people's fingers.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so we'll introduce you to these characters a little bit. But, here we go. It got a new intro. So, the first thing we see is the Silver Alchemist. Scar is after him. We don't really know who the Silver Alchemist is, but we know that's next on Scar's list. And then we just break into a new intro.
It's okay.
Like Lauren and I said, we're not the biggest fans of it. We like the animation, the music, growing, hopefully.
It might grow. You know, I didn't like the new intro for My Hero either, for the My Villain arc, and now I really do. Like, it took me a minute.
I didn't either, and now I have it on my playlist, because I'm like, the carousel goes... So, anyway.
Yeah, I know. So, I don't know, I have hope. I have hope that it will get better to my ears. We shall see.
Yeah. So... my first bullet point, no characters, because I'm making notes on the intro. Mustang's crew, Dad versus Ed? Question mark? Because
also,
it does look like we're squaring up Daddy Elric versus Ed.
I forgot to say in the last episode, good for Mustang for getting to take all of his homies to Central with him.
Yeah! Right. He, made a deal and got all his... My favorite, but I have a girlfriend.
Get a new
Break
one.
up with her. Break up with her, and he's like, yeah.
I love Havoc. I don't know why I love Havoc.
That's pretty much his only character arc right now, and I really like it.
He's just real cute. I want him to be friends with everyone. You know?
Everyone. Yeah, I can get that.
I like
I vibe with that.
Do you vibe?
I vibe. You said vibe. Caught a vibe. Baby, are you coming for a ride? Maybe I have for the night.
We love you, Willow Smith.
Okay, I love you, Willow Smith, but I also need you to release a recording of it when you do it live, because
you're so
your
good.
voice is so much deeper live, and I love it. I like the original recording, but I love the live version. I know it's memed out, but I also love the meme and equally love the song.
Frickin' Will has been walking around our house singing that at random for weeks.
Caught a vibe.
Yes.
Hey, are you coming for the ride?
And I love the song, but at the same time I'm like, Will, please.
Please, I lost the vibe.
I have no vibe. I'm gonna go take my own ride away. I'm sorry.
I am not coming for the night. Okay. And so in the intro, we also see Scar, all the deadly sins, and Father. We see Panda Girl and Brunette in yellow jacket and Guy.
Panda Girl's name is Mei Chang. Just so we know.
But we don't know that yet.
But we will.
Mei Chang, and then my favorite, Xiao Mei. You Panda. And then you said Guy in yellow jacket is Ling
Yao.
Ling Yao. And then Daddy Ulrich. You got Daddy Ulrich. That's all I got. And then what did I say? Oh, and then there's a huge Scar versus Ed battle in the intro, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna get that some point this arc.
I don't want them to fight. I like Scar. Like, I like Scar as a character.
I think he's got good intentions, and it's just not good intentions, but like good moral. Like, it's a revenge thing. He's picking up good vibrations. Stop, Beach Boys. Stop it.
It's so good, though. That's a vibe.
Good vibrations. Anyway, that was embarrassing. I'll cut that out.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, I think Scar is like this kind of like heartbroken character. I mean, he did just watch his whole family in town get demolished. Yeah. And he's taking revenge for that. So I think it's just kind of like his intentions are misconstrued, but he's not a bad guy. And I hope that comes to a boiling point with him and Ed. Because
he will probably die at some point in the series. I just want him to go out in a blaze of glory.
As everyone does, it's fine.
Well, whenever you're that kind of character where you're just so in the middle, it's really hard to keep you alive. It's like Akechi in Persona 5. Like, you have to have that almost catalyst to go on to the next part. And I think that's probably going to be Scar. And I'm sad about it. But I'm also really looking forward to how cool it's going to be, because you know he's going to just destroy.
I feel like Scar's going to open Ed and Al's eyes to, like, how corrupt the government is with the Civil War and all that. Because, like, Mustang knows. Yeah. But he keeps that really close to his chest because he knows it's not trustworthy. And he does somewhat want to... I mean, we see it in this next episode that he wants to protect the boys.
But Ed and Al also know something, because they don't trust the military either. They've hinted at that, but we don't know what exactly they know, which sucks.
But I have a feeling they're not going to be state alchemists for this whole series. Like, I have a feeling that maybe Scar's going to help them break out from that, because
I see that.
He's gonna show, like, no, we didn't do anything. The Civil War wasn't started by us. We studied alchemy as... What did they call it?
It's called
Alchihistory?
Something like that. Alchihisty, which is cool. I wrote down the differences, and I will tell you about them in a moment.
Yeah, because we get into that in this one. But I think that Alchihisty is more medicinal, and it's all like being one, kind of like what teacher teaches them. But the government, like, they're the dog of military, they're using it as a control fear factor thing. So that's my thing, is I think Ed and Al are going to break out from the government and be listed as, like, you know, like, number one enemy of the state.
That's super cool, because it kind of relates back to what we were talking about in, like, our very first episode covering this, like, the separation of church and state, and how your spiritual thing is so different from the science they give you.
I didn't even think about that.
Because alchemy is like, its root is in the tectonic shift of the earth, so it takes that kinetic energy, and that's how it creates, and it uses that to manipulate scientifically and things that have, like, proper practical things. Yeah. And then alchihistry is actually centered in chi, so it's like the flow of energy through your body and from the earth. So it's all a spiritual thing, which is really cool. That's cool.
I think that, like in real life, like, if you have the blend of those, the balance, it's really good. But we're seeing the two different sides, and I think Ed and Al might be the people that try and bring balance. I knew it's very Avatar.
I'm about it,
but I'm like, I love that.
I'm
story.
About it.
I love finding that balance of, like, they take this and overdo it and it's corrupt. They take this and overdo it and it's, like, powerless. But if you combine these two things, you have reached, like, the inner harmony. I know I'm getting, like,
I feel it. I'm here.
It's like the flow, and I really love that. So I really hope that's what we get to with Ed and Al, because right now you can still kind of feel that they don't trust anyone, and they're kind of wandering, just searching for answers.
It's cool. I'm stoked.
Anyway,
I like that.
We're really excited about that. Yeah. Thanks for coming to our vibe talk.
We got all the good vibrations for you.
Yeah, we're picking up good vibrations, and we caught a vibe.
We're gonna go right into the night
and we're coming for this ride.
Let's do it.
Anyway, so episode 15, we meet Mei Chang, and Panda Girl is with Scar.
I love Mei Chang immediately. She is so cute, and she just wants to meet Edward, and she thinks he's like this tall, beautiful thing.
And Scar's like, eh.
She's so cute.
I love it. And then she can do alchemy and knows alchemy from Sheen.
Mm-hmm.
So we start learning about the country Sheen. As a new location introduced into us this time, which is cool.
And their country is to the east of whatever, because I can't remember the name right now, and they have to cross a crazy desert to get there. So she made a journey.
Yes. I think I'm going to post a map when this episode comes out on our Instagram.
That'll be good.
Just so that we can see, the new location of Sheen, because I have a feeling it's probably going to come into play more since we've met multiple characters.
Is their country called Amorous? I think it's called Amorous.
I think you said that because then I kept calling it something else as a joke, and now I don't remember either one.
Well, their country is across the desert to the east. That's all we need to know about that.
And so alchemy, we learn, because she's kind of explaining it, and it's what Lauren said, but it's the art of reading the dragon's pulse is basically what they're taught in their culture, which is really cool. I liked that description. And there's some cool art that goes along with it.
One of those arts
we learned that
is Scar's tattoo.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
We learned that his tattoo is from his brother's research of alchemy. And so my next bullet point is I'm really upset because I'm like, oh my gosh, not again. It's Barry the Chopper. Number 66. Not Barry the Butcher.
Barry the Chopper.
Barry the Chopper.
Yeah. But you know what? Good for
Welcome
Hawkeye.
back.
Good for Hawkeye, man. Just being like, nah, I'm done with you. Goodbye.
I know, she just turned around and was like, bang, bang, bang. And
his dog is so cute.
What?
I love her dog. It reminds me of Steve, and that makes me happy.
Aw, he does look like Steve. A little fluffy.
Right.
A little fluffy.
Just a little bit.
So yeah,
just a little bit.
Hawkeye is just really cool, carrying groceries, and then psych, gotcha. And Barry the Chopper's like, aren't you scared? I have no body. And she's like, nah, I've seen that before. And he's like, Alphonse. He's immediately he's like, this kid,
his new deepest enemy.
This kid that's ruining my gig, Alphonse. So she captures him, and now they know about the Philosopher's Stone and the ingredients to make it. Researchers were all silenced, and so now they're finally in on the secret that Ed and Al weren't talking about, because Armstrong was like, let's keep this close to our chest because it's for sure corrupt government if we're creating this.
And also the Fuhrer told them not to.
And Armstrong, I really don't like this theory that I have, but I have a feeling that Armstrong's going to die as a great sacrifice.
Oh, for sure. He's too close to the Fuhrer. The Fuhrer takes him
and he's
everywhere.
Kind of I think the Fuhrer's keeping him close because he knows how strong he is, but also I don't think he necessarily knows how soft of a spot Armstrong has for Ed and Al, and I think that's what's going to get him killed, but I don't want it.
I know.
I can't.
I think a lot of people who don't want to die are going to die.
In 2 shows.
I know. It's going to be okay,
it's
though.
Not okay.
It will. It'll be okay. I promise. We'll get through it together.
We'll have to wear waterproof makeup. Just kidding.
That's
I only
okay.
did that today because I was looking real rough because I'm real tired.
Same, but I just said, y'all get this today.
This is what that was me last time with the beanie. I was like, oh no. And then I didn't click split screen. And I was like, as soon as I saw that upload onto YouTube, and I was clicking through because I always want to make sure that it worked, and I was like, I didn't hit save after I hit split screen, and so I pop up.
I haven't watched it.
I pop up
because
for a minute in the very end of the episode.
I just don't want to watch just myself.
It's so funny
for
me because it's me. You can hear me talking. The audio split's fine, but you're watching me
I'm just very attentive, and I make good faces.
And it just feels a little more dramatic because you can't see me talking to you. I was like, I'm so sorry, Lauren, but it takes like 2 hours to upload. I'm not doing this again.
I understand. I'm just not going to watch it. That's fine. I'll listen to it.
You listen.
Yep.
There we go. I do not. I don't listen to our own because I listen to it while editing, and I'm like, that's enough of me sounding stuffy. Because I didn't know I sound like I always have a stuffy nose until now.
I mean, I don't think you do. I sound like a Valley Girl, so that's where we are.
But we said that was okay. We
accepted.
We accepted that. Right. That's good.
Thank you.
You good, boo.
What else is in this episode before I get into voice actors? What else happened?
So, did you find a stray cat or something? No person. Why did I write that? I wrote,
the boys...
did you find a stray cat or something? No person.
Oh, because Ed asked that to Al because he's always finding stray cats, and then he found Ling Yao.
That's what it is. Because
and they feed him.
I was like, why did I write this note? That's right, because he's out, like, crouched over feeding him in the corner, and he's like, did you find a stray cat or something? Because Al loves cats. Al loves cats, and I love Al for loving cats. And he was like, no, he found a stray person.
But so they go and they feed him a lot of food, and he makes Ed pay for the food. And Ed's really mad. And,
he reminds me of someone from Avatar.
What
Who is it?
After that,
I can't think of who it is. I want to say he's from the Earth tribe. He's an Earthbender, but I can't think of who it is. But you saying that, making him pay for it, it just made me think of somebody. I'm gonna have to rewatch Avatar. Like, that's a burden. Like, I don't ever do that anyway.
Oh.
But I just rewatched Korra.
I was gonna say, but so they make him pay for the food. They're talking about where he came from. He tells them that he came from Shing, and that he is looking for the Philosopher's Stone. Yep. And they have like a creepy little moment, which is bad. And then his homeboys attack. His homeboys, Lanfan and Fu. And they have this epic little alchemy battle. And in this alchemy battle, we find out that Alphonse no longer needs a transmutation circle.
I wrote it in all caps. Al didn't need to draw a circle. I was so happy.
I love how jealous Ed is because Al's a better alchemist. And he's just like, that's all I had on him. Now
he's tall, he's buff, and he can do this. It was great.
So, how exciting that Al can do that now. But I still think Al's hiding something. I think he knows something.
Yeah, he hasn't
told
There was
like this
Ed,
weird moment after he did it where he was like, no, I can clean up after the battle.
Yeah.
And they share like this silent, tense look. And I don't know, it just freaked me out, man. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I think Alphonse knows something.
I think my favorite part in this battle is there's a line that Al says, how's it going on Brother's End? And it just immediately like straight cuts to Ed's arm in the rubble. And he's lost his arm again, and he's using it as a trap. It's just like, how's Brother's End going? Cut to arm, broken off. I was like, oh my gosh.
Poor Winry.
And
she's the hardest working woman.
They keep her on a salary, basically.
Yeah.
I love that. I wrote, what you're talking about, like, Ed was so frustrated that Al could do this now. I was like, he lost his older brother dignity. Like, it's always worse when you had one up on your sibling about something, and then all of a sudden your sibling gets really good, and you're like, oh, man. I gotta find a new thing now. And then I wrote something here, and they said something, and I don't know if it maybe just didn't translate right, but they said drawing in blood. And I said, what was that joke? They, like, make this joke about drawing in blood.
I don't remember that.
Okay, I'm going to look it up real quick, because it was something that I remember them making this joke. Okay, let's go to Funimation. Oh, I turned off my keyboard.
Uh-oh.
That would help.
That would be helpful.
Funimation.com. Okay, so this is what it is, and this is what I'm saying about translation. So Al's saying, don't worry, you can leave this all to me. What's the matter, brother? And it pans to like Ed laying on the ground again, and there's a puddle of blood that it looks like when he first lost his body, and he's like writing something, but it's not translated for us.
It wasn't in the Japanese either. They didn't add a subtitle to it at all.
So I was like, "Is this a joke? Like,
it's probably a joke.
It's gotta be. But it's like referring to the October 3rd thing, like, because it's his arm hanging there next to him, and there's a puddle of blood, like, but it's his robotic arm, and he's writing something.
I don't think it's that deep. I think it's a joke.
I was just like, oh! So, that was what I wrote. That was a lot of research just for that.
That's okay. That's okay. Everyone got to enjoy my singing. So
yes, I will not cut that out.
Please, no.
And then so we start learning that Ling is the Emperor's son. He's a prince.
He has 45 siblings.
Yeah. He's not like next in line or something.
He's the 19th son of 45 children. Can you believe that? Jesus.
I don't ever want to be in a line like that.
No. And his father is dying. This is what we know.
Yes, so he's trying to learn about immortality. It's going to like boost him up the chain. It's the only way he can stick out. Things like that. But I think, like you said, I think there's going to be more to him than meets the eye.
I think he's going to end up being a good guy, and he just wants to save his dad. That's my...
I hope so. He's so annoying right now.
I love him instantly, and it's hilarious because I now know why I love him because of his voice actor, and I'm going to get into that at the end of this episode, so you're good.
Okay, I'm almost there. So at the very end, we pan to Scar. Ishvalan names are secret and before they're saying out loud because they're a gift from God. Mm-hmm. So that's why he goes by Scar, like where they call him Scar because we don't actually know his name. And so we find out that Scar has renounced his name. And so that's where we end off. Like, so Scar is clearly in this moral battle of his beliefs, and that's why I'm thinking like Scar's gonna be someone that helps Ed and Al kind of see the issues here, because like Ishvalan, what sounds like they were a very religious group and like a harmonious group, and they used alchemy as like, you know, the healing thing, kind of like the people in Sheen did, but he is now like, I'm so angry, I want revenge, you killed everyone. So, yeah. And then my only last bullet point is, I think I did like the older intro song better. The older intro and outro song.
The outro song I don't care for at all. I just don't. I don't think I ever will. The intro, I'm still hoping will grow on me. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, you got us.
I do have some voice actors and a fun fact. So the voice actor for Winry Rockbell is Megumi Takamoto, and she is Nini from Dead Man Wonderland and Seychelles from Hitalia. So Ling Yao. I'm leaving my favorite one for the last because I knew there was something about him that I was like, I love you. And I'm going to leave my favorite one for the last. He plays Light Yagami in Death Note. So that's probably his biggest thing. Death Note is fucking freaking huge, whatever. He also plays Asumu Dazai in Bungo Stray Dogs, which is great. I'm adding that to our backup list whenever we get into things because it's good. He plays Riku in Kingdom Hearts, which is super fun. Rin Matsuoka, sorry. Rin Matsuoka from Free. It's a swimming anime. And my favorite, I have a figure of him on my desk I'm about to pull over. My favorite thing ever. He plays Ryuji Sakamoto from Persona 5. And he's my favorite boy of all the boys ever. This is the best video game ever made. I've played it 3 times. I have spent over 300 hours of my life on Persona 5. Yes, it's a lot.
Oh, wow.
And every single time, even though Ryuji doesn't really matter that much, I max out my relationship with him first because he is best boy. He is best friend. We love Ryuji. We stan him. So this is one of the many reasons that we love Ling Yao, and he's going to be the best ever. Anyway, where am I? Mei Chang didn't really have a lot of credits. She didn't have anything that I knew her from, so I just gave you her voice actor because she's cute and we like her. It's Mia Gato. That's her name. And then Panina, because we get a little Panina in this episode.
Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that, but yeah, we get a little Panina back in here. Love Panina.
Her voice actor is Akemi Okumaru.
Okay.
And she has like 200 voice actor credits, but more than half of them are Nami from One Piece, because there's 10,000 One Piece everythings. So she's Nami from One Piece. That's what we know her from.
Got it.
And my only fun fact for this episode was that in alchemy circles called the purification circle, because alchemy is called the purification arts.
Okay.
And
that's interesting.
That's it. Yep.
All right, then that leads us straight into our last episode for this episode. Footsteps of a Comrade in Arms, episode 16. This is
I don't have a whole lot for this episode, just because it was just a punch in the gut.
It was.
But the Netflix summary is envy still hides in plain sight amongst the state alchemists, and another homunculi is on the verge of infiltrating their ranks. That's it.
All right, so here we go. Where did we... Oh, they've gone back to Central, and Ling has disappeared. We also find out Ling has, like, a fainting spell thing, so that's interesting. I'm wondering if maybe his dad's sickness is something that's genetic, and maybe he has it, and that's what that might be. Just, that's... I mean, like...
Part of me felt like he did it on purpose, so that he could get into Central.
I mean, that is good. But, I mean, his bodyguards, like, are in cahoots with him on everything, and they're worried about him having fainted somewhere.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I was like, you know, overprotective bodyguards. I don't know. I feel like he's up to something. Something's afoot.
It is true. He wanted to go to Central for something.
Yes.
Something about this country doesn't feel right is a quote we get, and I didn't write down who said that quote, but I think it might be Ling who said that.
I think so.
When he's standing on the trains, and I was like, yeah, we agree. And so, what are my questions? Why does Ling pass out? So Mustangs people are now watching 66, aka Billy the Chopper, not Butcher, Chopper. They're watching him, and some of them are really annoyed about it. And then, what were they playing? Were they playing cards when they like walked in?
Something like that. I don't remember.
They're playing a sub-game. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. I don't know what they're going to do with Billy the Butcher Chopper. Oh my gosh. Billy the Chopper. But it was entertaining watching them. And what's his name? Got a new girlfriend.
Havoc. His name is Havoc.
That'll come in. Havoc got a new girlfriend. I laughed and I was like, "Aw!" And then we got to the end of the episode and I was like,
"No." My last bullet is Havoc. Why? That's it.
Mine was, "Oh no!" "Oh no!" Exclamation mark. So, and then I just write, "Oh no, they still don't know that Hughes has died."
So Winry just goes straight to Gracia and what's the little girl's name? Alicia's house with apples.
Yeah. For the pie, because they talked about the pie.
And the boys go to see Hughes at Central.
They're like, didn't he say he's at this office? And Mustang doesn't tell them. And Hawkeye's like, I don't agree with this.
But it did, I'm not going to lie, it did soften me a little bit to Mustang. I think he should have told them.
Yes.
Because, you know, they are kind of adults, even though they're not. But it did give me a little soft spot for Mustang, which I honestly needed for his character, because I'm like in and out on him. I'm sad about his boyfriend, you know, it sucks.
Yeah.
But like, it did make me a little soft towards him. But then immediately after they find out from Ross that, oh no. Yeah,
Sorry.
immediately after, they find out from Ross that Mustang lied to them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that there's going to be a consequence to that coming up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's definitely going to set back their trust. Sorry, I had to like take off my headphones. I have a little bag of jerky and my cat found it. It was behind me and I heard something fall and
Cute.
she was like,
Sounds like Peggy.
Yes, it does. What is the name? I can't read my handwriting. What is the name of the librarian?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Shushka?
Sheska. It's Sheska.
It's an E. It looks like U in my handwriting. It's an E. Sheska. So we go and we pan over, and Sheska's hiding Mustang in room 3 because he's sleeping because Mustang is like working around the clock. And then we see this. I wrote his name down. His name is Fokker. And I was like, they give Meet the Fockers. And it was just, I've got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? Anyway.
I've got nipples, Sheska. Can
you milk me? So he comes in there asking, like, hey, is Mustang in there? Was he napping? Blah, blah, blah. And he walks off. And then the hallway scene, we see him walking towards himself, and really quickly he changes into a different person, and he walks in, and Sheska's like confused. It was Envy. Envy is getting intel, figuring out what Mustang's looking into to make sure that he doesn't find out it was them who killed Hughes, but he's sniffing their trail pretty hard. And then Armstrong's little shimmer noise when he appears is my absolute favorite, because Armstrong appears and it just goes ding.
He deserves a shimmer noise. It makes me think of that scene in My Hero Academia when All Might bursts into the classroom. He's like, I'm coming through the door like a normal person. And it's my favorite thing. I send that to Dana constantly. Anytime I get to her house, I just say, I'm here, coming through the door like a normal person. It's my favorite.
He's
Armstrong's
my favorite,
the best. Armstrong is the best. He's best boy.
I'm getting a sticker soon in the mail, and it's him crying with like little sparkles around him. And I'm very excited for that.
We stand Armstrong.
We stand strong, soft boys.
Yes, we do.
So then they lied to the brothers about Hughes, like we just said, and said he was retired. I mean, like, if you're going to lie to him, like, that was a horrible lie. That was a horrible lie, because he can automatically see where he retired to, because now we're going to go talk to him and just go visit him at his house. Like, you needed to have said he's, like, undercover or something. Like, they didn't try.
Well, I don't think he thought it over either. I think he just said it because it's what came
on the
first.
Cusp, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then they warned the boys to lay low, just like Armstrong did. And so I think they're realizing, like, there's something everyone is not telling us or keeping us in the loop on, because why does everybody keep telling us that?
Something is afoot.
Yeah, and Hawkeye thinks it's cruel that they're not going to tell them. Well, don't worry about that, because turn around, Ross is coming down the hallway, and they start talking to Ross, and she accidentally lets it slip. She didn't know they were lying to the boys, and was like, yeah, it's so sad. And they're like, yeah, where do you retire to? And she's like, what are you talking about? He died. And then she's like, oh no. And the boys are like, what? And it just breaks my heart, because I was like, we need to tell Winry. She was going straight to their house. Like, they automatically think like, oh no, Winry.
And Gracia, they want to tell her that they think that his death was their fault because he was helping them with their research. And of course, Gracia is amazing, and she's just like, you know, he wouldn't have wanted it any other way. He was always doing that, and he wants to work for the greater good. It's not your fault. And then they leave, and you hear her crying through the door.
So before they leave, when they're arriving and the door opens, the little girl goes, Daddy! And I was like, oh, we're just gonna start this whole scene off with like a knife to the heart. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so they talk about it. Miss Hughes tells them they can't give up. Team is busted up. Like, it is the worst scene. It's a really short scene, but man, this is of course the like scene we ended on for our episode. And I was like, that leaves us with very little hope and happiness right now. And like, I wrote Ed and Winry. Their hands touch.
She holds his
and
little
I just
robot
drew his
hand.
heart.
Because she made it. It's her hand.
And I was just like, they are one.
love
And if
them.
they don't get together by the end of this series, I'm going to be really
They have
upset.
to. They're so in love. They just think about each other all the time. Like,
but the boys never get happiness, and I need them to get happiness because Winry's like the one thing. Anyway. Deadly Sins have a bunch of chimeras. Like a bunch. And I was like, great. That's great. Cool. Glad we're ending on that note. But the worst thing is, like what you said, when they're leaving the Hughes house, she held it strong. She's telling them all that. And as soon as the door closed, like Ed still got his hand on the door. You just hear her sobbing. And I'm just not okay.
it was so sad.
I was always on the fence. Like, is he just a genuinely good guy, or does he have ulterior motives? And he was just a genuinely good guy. And I'm sad. .com.
It's very sad. I'm sad too. The shot of them at the beginning walking past the phone booth to get to Central.
And the guard is there with the costume.
Ow.
Anyway, okay, the Deadly Sins have a bunch of chimeras, and they're going to distract Mustang. They make Ross the primary suspect in
I forgot
Hughes'
that
murder.
they used her body.
I was like,
I forgot that Envy pretended to be her.
Yes.
And then I was legitimately shocked. I was like, why would they put this on Ross? And I was like, no, because she was there.
Yep. And the whole mole thing, and I'm just like, she is such a genuinely good person. And she loved Hughes, and I'm so sad. And then here's my, oh no, Solaris cigarette guy. We find out his girlfriend. It's very end. He's going to meet his girlfriend for dinner. And guess who his girlfriend is? Drumroll, please, Lauren. It's Lust. It's Lust. And that's how we end. That's how we end. Lust, who's like the brains of their operation.
So upsetting. Ugh.
And that's how we ended our 4 episodes.
Let me give you some voice actors. It'll be good.
Thank you. That'll be nice. That'll be nice.
Riza Hawkeye is played by Fumiko Orikaza. I'm sorry. She plays Rumiko Chai from When They Cry, Higurashi. Dope. That's on our list, I think, because I loved this when I was a kid. She also plays Shirley Finette from Code Geass, also on our list. Great.
That is on us.
She's the voice of Chun-Li in Street Fighter, which is super cool.
Chun-Li.
I'm so sorry. Chun-Li.
And
she also plays Rukia in Bleach, which is dope.
Okay.
It's one of the big 3.
Everybody says Bleach is great, yeah.
It's a lot. I read the manga when I was young. I read like 25 volumes of that manga, and I was obsessed. But I never finished it, so. Then we have Alicia Hughes. She was played by, I wrote this weird. I'm going to mess this up. That's fine. I think it's Misato Fukian.
Okay.
She's actually... So she's in My Hero. She plays Himiko Toga.
Oh, okay. I love
She
Toga.
is Sailor Chibi Moon.
Oh.
I know. She plays Sailor Chibi Moon or Chibiosa in Sailor Moon, which is the best. And actually, the very best thing she does is she plays Iggy, the dog, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. I can't. It's great. We love that. We love that. Gracia Hughes, her voice actor's name is Tomo Hanba, and she plays Maddie in the original Shaman King series. And then I have Maria Ross. Her name is Karoe. I think. Karoe Nazuka. And she plays 2 characters in My Hero Academia. She plays Toru Hikakure, who is my least favorite character. She is
Who is that?
She's the invisible girl.
Gosh, yeah.
Pointless.
No, don't like
and
her.
she plays Mount Lady.
Love Mountain Lady.
She plays
though.
Mount Lady
Love
too, though.
Mountain Lady.
We love Mount
a
Lady.
one-way road, my only weakness.
But I know. But the best thing she does is she plays Kyoko in Haiku, and we stand Kyoko. Kyoko is best girl. You will find out.
I was telling
love
Ryan,
her.
I was like, I just don't know if I'm gonna like Haikyuu. Like, I mean, like, it just, he was like, you will love it. And I was like, okay.
It's so wholesome, Bridget. It's so wholesome.
Let me tell you something.
It's so good.
Ryan has never listened to one podcast ever in his life. I just found that out today at lunch.
He seems like a podcast person.
Right?
That's very surprising to me.
He's not listened to one. Not one. And I was like...
Is he going to listen to ours?
I was like, we talk about you on ours. He goes, that's really sweet. And I was like, well, now you gotta listen.
No, I mean, Ryan's your Dana.
I know!
Me and Dana talked about this not yesterday, day before yesterday. I was like, I know you're not going to listen to my podcast. I'm cool with that. I know you.
I am not cool, Ryan.
It's fine.
I am not cool with that. I need you to listen.
Hey, Ryan.
He's like, when am I going to listen at work? And I was like, sure. It'll just be like when I worked at the desk next to you. But this time we won't talk about work stuff. You'll get to hear me talk about anime. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. Those were all the voice actors I had anyway. And I have one fun fact, and that's that this the chapters that this episode was made off of was chapter 34 through 36 in the manga. So we have now, I think there's like 100 chapters. So we have gotten a pretty decent chunk of the way in.
I know. I was just looking when I pulled up Funimation. I was like, all right. We're not totally at a quarter, but we're almost there.
We're getting to a good spot.
Yeah.
And now I have important things to remember and important questions going forward.
Let's go.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
So, number 1 for important things to remember. Someone somewhere has successfully made a humanoid chimera, and we can probably assume that is father. Right?
Someone somewhere beneath the pale moonlight.
No.
Yes,
so
human chimera.
That was my choir solo in the 8th grade. And I went dressed as Faust the Fourth from Shaman King because it was Halloween. So I was like, dressed.
Wait, you're not
dressed as an anime necromancer in a wheelchair with a top hat. No, I have pictures somewhere. Remind me to show you. It's so embarrassing.
I need you to find those photos before this episode comes out so we can just use that photo.
It's so embarrassing. It's so
embarrassing.
Yeah, well, it was a Halloween concert, and I wasn't thinking about having the solo, and then
singing
I had
this really touching song that a mouse sings, and
it was.
Anyway, I really love that so much.
Important
thing
to remember, number 2. The 7 deadly sins are homunculi, and the Fuhrer is one of them. And he is Wrath.
He's Wrath.
3, Father is presumably older than the homunculi, so he's probably older than 200, and he knows...
I thought you were just gonna leave it at Father's presumably old.
No. And I'm just saying he probably knows how to make a Philosopher's Stone, so that's something to look forward to.
He's gotta be older. It only makes sense that he's older than the homunculi, but how, and what is keeping him alive. He's like attached to a lot of tubes when we see him.
Yeah.
So...
4, there are other types of alchemy that are based on different flows of energy. So that's interesting.
Alchemy.
Maybe we will find out some different ones, which is cool.
It'd be really cool. And maybe he could master them all and be the avatar of alchemy.
Wouldn't that be the dream, though? Wouldn't that be the dream?
Yes.
And that's all my important things to remember. Important questions.
Okay.
Why does the Fuhrer age, and how can he have a child? Number 1.
Yeah, is the child of his blood?
Or is
can
he a
they
chimera?
reproduce like that?
Since there's so many.
Yeah, great question.
And then my second one is, when Al saw his truth, why does he remember seeing Ed from where their mother was in their transmutation circle?
What is that point of view thing?
What does he know? Because I think he knows something.
He knows something. He knows something we're not letting on.
And that's it. That's all I got.
Those are good points. Good points. I'm really excited to continue watching now.
I'm stressed out.
So do we want to announce that this upcoming week? No, it'll come out a week before this episode. So everybody should check it out already. We'll have already announced it that we are covering Star Wars Visions as a bonus episode.
It's going to be super fun. If y'all don't know Bridget very well, it goes ham on Star Wars, so it's probably going to be really intense. And I don't really like Star Wars, so it's going to be even more intense.
I have a handmade Anakin ornament from my friend Ken Boda that sits on my desk. And then I've got my external hard drive has buff Kylo.
Oh my god.
I need to set that down before it freaks out. That's got our podcasts on it. I've been to Galaxy's Edge. Ryan and Michael got me for my birthday a Galaxy's Edge vinyl for the soundtrack because John Williams is the goat of soundtracks and scores and symphonies. I love him. I was a trumpet player in band, so he loves brass, and I love him for that. I am so excited because I watched all of it in a day and am so hyped. They're only 9 episodes. They're really short. They're different anime studios, so Lauren's going to cover that side of it because she knows more about the studios, and I'm going to cover everything about Star Wars lore that it refers to. I've got some cinematic stuff with the first episode, but I am just so excited to dive in, and some of it's like deep cut Star Wars lore with kyber crystals and Jedi. Like, I used to read those books back in 8th grade that are no longer canon that they were so my jam.
She's so excited, y'all.
Hype! So when this episode comes out, we'll release episode 2 covering episodes 6 through 9 of Star Wars Visions. And then this past week from when this episode comes out, so go ahead and listen to it now, it'll be episodes 1 through 5 of Star Wars Visions. We're breaking it in half. There's only 9. They're like 10 to 13 minute shorts. And they're so good, and I really hope maybe like a spin-off story comes from them, or even like if we can get a manga from some of them, because there's some great jams. And I wrote voice actors down for a bunch of these, but here's the thing: I only wrote the dubbed voice actors.
That's
it is
how
subbed
I will
also
be watching
because
it.
the anime studios.
So there we go.
The anime studios have it subbed with their normal voice actors that they use too. So we'll cover all that. I'll handle the English dub, especially since I've already watched it and like wrote it down. I was trying to show Lauren. It's and if you don't like Star Wars, this might be a cool way to get you into it, because it does kind of like call into some of the movie stuff, but it's not like canon. Like, here's one page of notes. Here's a back and a front, 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 and then a back. Those are all the notes on those little shorts. But like, I'm ready to break this down with y'all. I'm ready to talk Star Wars. I love Star Wars, and I love anime now. So it's like,
we're very excited for
really
Bridget,
hyped.
and you should all come be excited with us and listen to these episodes, because I have to suffer through watching Star Wars, and it's gonna be fun.
I'll draw an Anakin scar like I did in 7th grade
disappointed
on my face.
Severely.
I'll put on some Sith makeup. It'll be great. But one thing I wanted to do before we sign off is we have our list officially of our 20 animes that after this we're gonna roll the 20-sided die, and so some I'm excited for because I've heard of, some I'm nervous from what I've heard of.
I worked really hard on this list. I am open to suggestions for things to replace other things. Keep in mind,
once we complete them,
that we are only watching one season at a time. So some of these are multiple seasons. We're only watching one, and then we will watch the rest eventually. There's a process. Hold fast.
We'll replace that season with the next season, and then it'll be in the next rolling
of the die.
So here we go. Rolling of the die. We won't, after Fullmetal, we're not going to choose them. We're going to let fate choose them. Fate through Dungeons and Dragons and 20-sided die.
Yes.
Because It is a Critical Role. Shout out to Critical Role. Matt Mercer, I love you. Anyway, here we go. My brother really loves Critical Role, and I don't watch it, but I love watching Matt Mercer. And they have a show coming on Amazon. Why am I plugging them? Anyway, here we go. We've got Attack on Titan Season 1. We've got Beastars Season 1. We got Code Geass. Am I saying that right? Okay. We got Death Note. We got Demon Slayer Season 1. We've got Devilman Crybaby. I was like, what is this? What is this acronym? We've got Erased. We've got Fullmetal. We've got Haikyuu Season 1. We've got Hunter x Hunter Season 1. We've got JoJo's Bizarre...
I need to look into Hunter x Hunter. I am starting to think that Season 1 is not an actual season, so that one's iffy. We'll come back to Hunter x Hunter. Just letting y'all know.
We'll come back to Hunter x Hunter. Okay. Then we've got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. We've got Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1. We got my favorite, My Hero Academia Season 1. We've got, how do I say this? Orin High School
Host
Club. I'm a little nervous for that one. I have seen half an episode.
It's bad.
We've got One Punch Man Season 1.
One Punch.
I've heard that I'm going to love One Punch Man. I just know
dude. It's
what
so
he looks
fun.
like.
It's so fun, and it's instantly just a blast. It's a blast to watch. You're going to love it.
We've got Tokyo Ghoul Season 1. We've got Tokyo Revengers Season 1. We have Wonder Egg Priority. We have Your Lie in April, which I'm so scared, but like in a good way, because Michael has watched this, loves it, thinks it's beautiful. Ugly cried throughout that whole series, and I was like, oh no! So I wanted to watch it back in like the spring when he was watching it, but now it's on our list, so I'm excited we'll get to watch it.
I
but
watched
at the same time, I'm like, if Michael cried, I'm gonna cry.
I watched it right after I moved to Laredo when I was in like peak depression and didn't want to talk to anyone, and it completely devastated me. I then spent the next 3 days watching Toradora over and over again. I watched Toradora 3 times after watching Your Lie in April because it really hurt me. I didn't know. I was like, oh, it's a fun music anime. This is great. And then I was like, no, this is bad. It's sad. This is really good though.
I only know the little gist of it, and I'm like, oh great, this is gonna break me. And then finally, you want to name our last one? It's one of your favorites.
Guys, it's Yuri on Ice. What? Here we are. Okay, everyone who's going to hate on Yuri on Ice, I could have done a lot worse. I could have put freaking Banana Fish on here or Skate Infinity, which are easily gay.
Okay,
we're going to watch
but everybody loves Skate Infinity. Like, Ryan talks about Skate Infinity, so...
Does Ryan like Skate Infinity? That makes me so happy, because I'm obsessed with Adam and Longa, and I know Adam's a horrible person, but he is just so much fun. But Longa is like...
I'm just gonna keep nodding my head.
He's on my high list of best boys, Longa is. Like, I love him. To the moon and back. He's the best.
To the moon and back.
To the moon and back. To Canada and back, I love Longa, and that's okay.
To Canada and back.
He's Canadian.
So we'll make a list and we'll post it up on Instagram probably before you listen to this episode. So you could see what our next ventures are and get hyped for it. But I mean, I think we got a good mix of things in there.
I think so, but I made it. So I'm a little biased. I feel really
There's
good
only
about
one
it.
that I'm really fearing, and I already warned you. I won't tell people what it is until we get there because I'm going to try and go in unbiased, but
it's my favorite.
I do fear
it. We'll see.
I don't understand. We'll see.
It's not actually my favorite on this list. My favorite anime of all time is Fullmetal. It's great. And
my friend
I'm
Garrett
excited.
thought that was because I posted on our Instagram, hey, what do you think, like, this short little series that we're going to do, like, because, I hadn't announced Star Wars Visions yet, and my friend Garrett was like, is it going to be Fullmetal? So, I'm excited, because I hope that's a great one.
Truly excellent and truly weird. But before we go, next episode 5, we're going to cover episode 17 through 20, so we're going to cover 17 is Cold Flame, 18 is The Arrogant Palm of a Small Human, 19 is Death of the Undying, and 20 is Father Before the Grave. So watch those before you tune in.
Oh,
I know.
Father Before the Grave sounds like a Daddy Elric. Okay, but what if the small palm thing? What if that's just Ed?
That's what I'm thinking it is. Like, it has to be Ed, right? Because he's so tiny.
I think it's gonna be the little girl. Yeah, I think it's gonna be May. But what if it's Ed?
I want it to be Ed. If it's not Ed, I'm gonna throw a fit. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
But yeah, that was fun.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening or watching. I hope I hit split screen this week.
Me too.
Sorry. But I guess there'll be an episode out before that. But 2 weeks ago, I did not hit split screen.
That's fine.
So I appear for 1 minute.
I hope y'all enjoy.
And this next episode that they're gonna watch is our technical disaster episode where we had to restart 3 times.
That was really fun.
And so it's a shorter episode. We do most of our banter at the end of the episode because I was just ready to throw it all to the wind. I was so mad that my computer. I had to. If you're a Mac user and you know easier ways to do storage, I had to clean my disk. It was full from editing these videos, and yeah. Anyway, get Lauren and I a new computer,
please. Thank you. That'd be great.
Please, and thank you.
Yeah, tell your friends. Yeah, tell us how to say homunculi or homunculuses, and we'll catch you next week. What the heck was that?
We'll catch you next week, eh?
Yeah.
Why did you go
Canadian? I love manga so much. Okay, bye.
Okay, we love you and we love anime. Bye.